Oh my god. What's going on? What's going on? The Steel Colours family. It's your boy Manenza here. And my brother Kevin. I'm out here doing the first reaction to Central Cee's Can't Rush Greatness CRG. Listen, first initial reaction. So this is about to be a great reaction. Before we get into the video, please make sure you're liking and subscribing. We're getting close to 9,000 subs. Oh, come on, 9,000 subs. Road to 10K soon come. So do what you can. React, subscribe, like. But anyways, Kev, Mr. Central Cee we're talking about here. What are you anticipating with this album right now, bro?
I wasn't anticipating it fully. I'm not the biggest fan of Central Cee, being honest. I think he's a good rapper, but I just think that he needs to be even better than what he is. But I think what he's doing is unprecedented. Because I remember, like, we were just having a brief conversation offline, and the fact that he possibly could be I think the first UK rapper to go platinum in America. You know, I think one of his singles, that Band for Band, which I think is a bad single, has already gone platinum, isn't it? So the fact that he generally might actually be the first one to do it is unprecedented. So
you know what though, he's definitely broken the scene. When I say broken the scene, as in he's created lanes that were probably paved for him prior to his career, but he's actually taken the path and actually created his own as well. Because to be the first UK artist to go platinum, obviously it's not happened yet allegedly, but we can see it happening with this album for sure. You know,
or even going gold as well. That's still a big achievement, you know.
Yeah, it's a massive achievement, but this is us even speaking prior to even listening to the album. So this is just going off of just Central Cee's hype.
Also looking at the singles, because I think both singles have performed very well as well. But
I think initially, what's his initial sales so far? What's his predicted sales?
But there we go, Band for Band. US Billboard Top is 18, and it's been certified platinum in America.
Yeah. So do you know what? He's doing numbers, man. Central Cee is definitely doing numbers. So I'm anticipating a good album. Obviously, both of us, we've not listened to the album yet.
I mean, I've heard the singles. I don't think the album's gonna be any good, because the singles normally for me tells me a lot about. Yeah, we haven't heard the album. You're right.
You know what? Let's expect what we expect. But we might as well go into track number 1 anyway. So obviously we've got track number 1 off of the album CRG, entitled No Introduction. So yeah, let's take a little listen, Kevin. Let's see what we're saying from there.
New Zealand, Australian, Arab, Armenian, even Asian, Indonesian, spitting on beats and using similes. No introduction needed, but girls don't ask what my name is, trying to pretend they don't know who see us. At the chamber, bro track, gonna hunt this done. I hear them talking. If it weren't for the work that I'm putting in Paris, none of these guys would have gone to Europe. Mixing up with it.
Well, that was no introduction indeed. He made very big bold claims, you know, with that one. Still, I can't
very bold claims, but I think he understands the type of structure he's got within the industry, though, man.
Yeah.
I think he mentioned something where if he hadn't gone clear in Paris,
none of these guys would have gone to Europe. I think that's obviously cap in it. I'm not gonna lie, man.
Yeah, that's massively cap. I don't know if he's trying to link that correlation over to the Americans understanding what Paris is or what Europe is, in a sense. But yeah, come on, man. I feel like sometimes as an artist, you're gonna have certain statements just to kind of show who you are, even though it's cap, but I guess it shows a level of I don't know. I won't say he's humble with it, but he just
no, he's definitely bragging. But I think one line that I kind of do agree with him was all of the moves that I make in America, making it easier for them, and I do agree with him on that. Like, he's,
you know what, but that's not. I'm not just saying that it's not just him, but his manager's got a big part to play with that as well. YB's Bello's got a massive part to play when it comes to his marketing. That dream's going over to America. I think he's spoken about that. He knew already where the market gap was. He knew if you can kind of connect the two, come on, he'll go clear, and that's exactly Central Cee right now. So
some interesting line as well. A few bold claims as well, you know, and obviously, like Central Cee always like to talk about, you know, always struggling, innit, fam?
Yeah,
you know, that's a big Central Cee. I found it like on Bare Records, even on the Limitless record as well, because he released that as a single. He always add those lines in every so it's very like a repetitive motif with him.
You know what? But to be honest with you, it's a good start. It's a good start.
Yeah, it's not a bad record. It's not a bad record.
It's a good start to the album for sure. So I say, you know what? We're probably in for something quite decent. 17 tracks as well. So
Yeah.
But you know what? We might as well then jump onto the second track. So the second track called 5 Star. So that's about 2 minutes long. So yeah, let's give it a little listen, Kev. See what it's saying.
I've got more money than all of my elders, even though they are twice my age. I just reunited with some of the I got a reminding that life has changed. Creeping to P&B rock, I can't even wine and dine these days. We got something in common with hockey, right? Cause we all got them. I felt like when I went to the Brits and they gave the award to a guy called H. I had no acceptance. Remember the meals were microwave. Now my private chef is asking how the you got what it takes, I'll take it.
You ready for another spoiler?
It took ages.
I've always been a man of bold predictions.
Okay.
All right. You know what? Strong single.
Yeah, it's not a bad song. It's not a bad song.
Typical Central Cee type of vibe. I think, like, once again, speaking about the struggle, speaking about all that good stuff. But one thing that stood out to me, and I think the streets have been speaking about it as well, and obviously Still Color Henry already spoke, done a video on this as well, the H bar. What do you think that's kind of generated from, in a sense?
Well, I mean, he's basically saying that. Well, I think the beef obviously is started, or H has responded because of Central Cee basically talking about him winning the Brit, as he said on one of the lyrics on the song here as well. And I don't know, it's just a weird one. I think if I was H, I don't think I would respond anyway, because it's not a beef like that.
So in other words, he feels like H never deserved it or did not deserve it, which in hindsight, when you look at it, Central Cee definitely, I feel like, had the better year than H.
The thing is, but I'm wondering who actually was up for a nomination as well, because me and H, I don't know if we'd covered that Brit Award as well, because, so I don't know who else, and I don't know for what category it was, innit, you know. You could have been best new UK artist or some shit like that, innit? Like that, or best UK rap. But what time period would that have been then? Would that have been 2020? Because I think Little Sims had a good run that period of time, and so many others as well. So I wouldn't even probably given it to Central Cee. But also, I feel like another thing that this is another criticism of Central Cee for me. It's just that the flow is always the same. I feel like it's really interesting. I would want like a change in the flow or a change in the the lyrical patterns as well, you know, just to add some subtle diversity. And I think that's also that comes into the drill beat and the drill type. Do you get me? Like, it requires, in order to make something more interesting, it also has to have some of the fundamentals of that particular subgenre or genre, whatever it is, but it's still got to be different. Do you get me? Because I just feel like, okay, it's not a bad song, but I'm like, I've heard this before and I want something even more different.
Now let's move on to the third track with the artist called Young Miko. I'll just double check now. I've done a bit of research before we jump into it. This Young Miko is a Puerto Rican artist, so this is quite interesting.
It's a young reggaeton thing, fam.
Young reggaeton. So you see how you're just speaking on giving us something a bit different.
But he's trying to corner the market, bro. He's just making sure. You know, I would laugh if I hear an Afrobeat record on this album, bro. I'm like, this has been so shopped around, man. Like they definitely trying to secure him commercially, fam. But let's see it.
Yeah, let's have a quick listen to it and see what it's saying. So this is the third song called Gata with Young Miko.
Oh my days, man.
Is it me or the GBP? I don't know if she really wants C for C. Could be the GIAs or the G5. They cry inside. I'm avoiding the hype. She do fancy she my man and I sold no spike. I ain't gotta give her the pin to my amen. Don't discriminate. I got one working in retail. I can't keep up with my Gen Z ting. First it was TikTok, now she on B-roll. Brown skin, but she lives in Surrey. She whitewash. Hey. Hey, te conecto en el 806, solo he cambiado de salario. Y un cerito, le va a meter en caption. Si la veo desde la tarima y me gusta, trepo para ver su reaction. Ey, su parita buena, yeah, pero con el lío. Afuera que era mi reina, me encanta cuando te me luces. Pero no te enamores, I treat you right, cause baby, they say to the music. La vida lo otro rato.
Alright.
Okay.
It's not bad, you know. Again, lyrically, it's basically the same, but with this time he's bragging about getting girls as well, and then obviously we get the hardship line. But I kind of like the Spanish flow from the little marachas, the little you get me, fam. It's not a bad single, It's not a bad.
Yeah, I'm with you. I agree. It's not a bad single. I think what had me smiling and laughing a bit was number one. I didn't expect to hear what I heard because it's different for Central Cee. It's very different. Number two, I'm assuming, of course, he can speak English, but how did they construct this whole single? I'm surprised by the actual song itself, but it adds a bit of flavor to the album so far, anyways. But like you mentioned, it's still Central Cee. He's still speaking on his life. He speaks about the same type of thing over and over, don't he? Realistically,
Yeah.
This is more about the women bragging about the type of money he has, how the Maybach seats go all the way back.
How it's taking them to Mr. Charles and not to Nando's anymore for the refill and that, fam.
Yeah, like a good Park Shin-won, man. Park Shin-won, yeah, spend a bit of money over there. So listen, he's got it now, so he can brag. Once again, it's the bragging rights.
Yeah.
He's letting the people know that he's made it. So fair play, man. That's track 3 so far. So all right, cool. We might as well then jump into track number 4, St. Patrick's. So yeah, I've got a slight feeling I might know what this might be about, but let's jump into it and see what it's saying.
And Amanda, no what ceremony speech, I done it myself, so who am I? Step in the club, let me see what I got. I'm trying to go yard with somebody's daughter. These American girls keep laughing. Anytime I say bottle of water, she don't wanna pay for a BBO. Her my step, put on your chains unless I don't. So calm and soft, you just can't run from. How did you go on that with a drop? I'm dropping, broski, you only have one job. I'm not really a newcomer though, but I'm accepted nevertheless.
No, what's your thoughts? But you're gonna know quiet. I'm gonna, I go out there first. I think he could have left this song off there.
That's my point. It gave me filler track.
Yeah, like there's nothing unique about it.
No, and what's annoying me so far about this album, there's no story being told of this.
No. You're not getting
there's
that.
no story. I feel like he's probably got so far the best 17 songs he feels like he's had whacked him on. I don't see the cohesion from track 1 to track 4 so far. I'm not understanding the story. Do you know what I mean? So it's a difficult one to kind of comprehend, to be fair.
This is not like a storytelling album from Rise to like from Riches or anything like that as well. I think production is also not bad so far as well, but yeah, we're not seeing a change in I think the drum patterns and different interesting elements, except from the Young Miko Future record there as well. But I think also that's quite predictable in some way as well. But yeah, the way things are sounding right now, and the way things are structured, for sure, he's not done this as like, okay, this is a cohesive 17 set songs, and the theme is about coming from Ladbroke to now in American Hills, and then what does that mean? Not just for material wealth, but also from a psychological perspective to add on to it as well, fam. Do you get me? What are the tribulations? We might probably hear some tribulations, innit? We only 3-4 records in, so we might get like, I don't know, I get anxiety every time I step outside. Do you get me? Because I don't know if it's ops or if it's a fan that's about to say hi. I don't know.
I'm hoping so. I'm hoping there's some sort of vulnerability on the album. Albums should be more of a storytelling theme. It should be something that you're able to kind of throw on
cohesively as a unit. Yeah. And I think a great album for me, I think the instrumental matches the story that it's trying to tell. Do you get me? Like you can maybe hear the dread in some of the instrumental when they talk about something greasy, or like hear the beauty when they talk about something beautiful, something beautiful that happened to them. But yeah, this is 100% a filler record, and it's not needed, because I think 5 Star could have served this job, isn't it? That this record is.
Yeah, it's similar tracks. Once again, it's a similar track, man. So, honestly, definitely a filler track, but it leads us on to the next track, GBP.
Oh yeah, with the 21 Savage record.
Yeah. So yeah, let's have a quick listen, anyways, and let's see what it's saying. So this is GBP.
Track and Air Max, they want a boy with a London stamp. We born at home, what's wrong with these guys, they gone. Sold the stroke, we was broke as hell. Well, until we broke the law. If I lived in Harlem, I would have been Mitch. Them man would have been like Ace and Snitch.
What if you wear D? Better watch your words, I get you tweet. I told lil' bro if it's personal, he better jump out and do it on feet. I can't get caught on no rings, so I'm inside out on the we go through the front door, cause they gon' tell when they back door get spicy.
Track and Air Max, they want a boy with a London stamp. We ain't got generational wealth, got a couple of mil for my unborn child.
I didn't do it on feet.
We got something in common with scuba divers, working the guys in deep.
It's not a bad song. I do feel like it's also the same band for band because they're talking about money and then the difference between the pound and the dollar, or they're making the comparison, and also they're comparing different environments. Whoa, similar environments. I think with this one they're comparing more with environments than comparison with band for band, but not too quite similar in terms of the execution in some way. It's not a bad song. Like I like the beat, I like the rhythm as well. But I feel like the problem that I have with Central Cee is that he's not different enough. And I think that's what comes. It's like when I see Jay-Z, like I know what his MO is. Like I know what makes Jay-Z so different from like Andre or Mos Def or like Gets, for example.
Yeah.
Or like Kano. Do you get me? Each one of them are very good and they're also different. I feel like when I hear Central Cee, he's a good rapper, don't get me wrong, but I also feel like if I put a picture up of a rapper, Central Cee will be the rapper. Like he's talking about violence, he's talking about getting girls, he's talking about the luxury. Like these are things that has been so common. So every time when I'm hearing it, I just feel like I'm hearing something that I've heard before because there's so much hip hop music I've heard over my lifetime. So and that's what makes it so hard for him for me to like and for him to be so distinguished differently, where I feel like he's adding something different. The only thing that's adding something new or different for me is the UK drill side of it and the UK accent. Do you get me? And his looks in his way, but I don't think that's much different anyway. But that's just the criticism I have. What you got to say?
I feel like his physical attributes definitely play a part to who Central Cee is.
Yeah.
His marketing campaign, especially his manager, takes a big credit for that, Bello. But in regards to a rapper, if you're just looking at his lyrical content and what he provides, he's nothing special, man. I don't want to come across and sound as if he's not a good rapper because
he's good, but he's not lyrical miracle. Like he's not combining similes and things.
And this album's giving me this already. Like, not that I'm bored, but I kind of know what to expect. And we're 6 tracks in or 5 tracks in. I know what to expect already. So realistically, I'm like, okay, cool. You're gonna talk about this. You're gonna talk about that. You're gonna talk about this. You're gonna talk about that. Cool. When it comes to the beat choice, they're not that different. You're not. He's not giving us a story. There's no story. I was really, reason why I was somewhat anticipating something from this album was more so because I wanted to see a different side to Central Cee. I wanted to see storytelling pops Central Cee. I wanted to see somebody that's able to put or create a body of work from start to finish and provide us with probably lyrics and the features, but then the production, and on top of the production, you've got a theme throughout the album. You've got a story that he's trying to tell throughout the album, but I don't know what he's giving us at the moment. I think it's just a typical London rapper talking about the ladies, talking about the money, talking about bragging, traveling. We've heard it all before, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
I agree, man. I agree.
This album, I'm disappointed, man. So far, I'm really disappointed. I just felt like it's not really what I expected. I was anticipating a body of work. When it comes to music is art.
Yeah.
And most times an artist will use an album to convey a message, storytelling, get the visions in our mind flowing, get our imagination going. And so far I'm just hearing Central Cee. I'm just hearing Central Cee in a very common way. There's nothing
in a safe zone, isn't it?
It's very safe. It's super safe. I don't think he's even ventured out his safe zone at all. And I'm bored. We're 5 tracks in and I'm bored so far, man. So, well, obviously there's 17 tracks, so this is just me talking 5 tracks in. He's not lured me in. Realistically, if we wasn't doing this review, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'll start skipping tracks.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
Boy, I don't know, but I'm
100%.
trying to stay open-minded. I'm gonna stay open-minded because there's more tracks. There's more tracks.
And to add to that as well, like I was said earlier, is that it would have been if Central Cee had clever, because there's loads of drill rappers with clever wordplay and clever like way to talk about madness or other things in it. You know, if he's able to do that, then that would add some pizzazz on it. But because we have some interesting good 3 lines here, but most of it is just, it's always not that very creative. It's very, I mean, it's very safe. It's good, but it's very safe. It's not drawing 2, 3, 4 different you know, and double entendres in there, fam, but talking about the topic that he's talking about. And if he's able to do that more, then that would definitely make the record even more interesting as well. And I think that also comes down to the production. The production is also good, but very safe. And it would be nice just to break up the drum pattern.
All right, brother. So this is track 6, top freestyle. So yeah, let's take it in, see what it's saying. Okay.
It's slowly at the top, lot of people are watching and want me to flop up. I'm jumping the barriers, if the inspector get on the train and I'm gone. Now the way that I'm into impatient, one put my foot on the gas with a light, I end up with a waiting clap on. I started my day in NW2, delivering food direct to your door, you can leave a review like Deliveroo. Before I got an invite to my Rubens all white party, 4th of July, I was sat in a with a all night. Able as X don't care with, as long as your catalog's bringing in revenue. You're standing here when you got broke, I end up in jail, they're quick to forget. PTA, I'm using cheat codes, cheat at school and exams on. Don't argue one of the grades. I'll get number 1 album easy. It's not like the boss said high these days.
Cool. He's woken up.
Yeah, in some sense. I think one thing I've also kind of realized that I think what he tries to make it maybe slightly a little bit interesting is, you know, including things about what he's talking about. But yeah, still very similar like anything else. And I think that's just going to be the running pattern of this entire album, I guess, because it's been like this for the 6 of them, isn't it?
Yeah. You know what it is for me? I feel like once the single started and I heard the instrumental, I thought, all right, cool. You're giving us something a bit different. It gave me like a Pastor Mace type vibe. I'm thinking, where are you entering with this? It's the horns. Once the horns went in, I thought, all right, so how are you going to attack this? But then the beat pattern kind of was similar to everything else he kind of spits to. But there was an element of vulnerability. And the reason why I say this is because he spoke on, like you mentioned, growing up, feeling like he shouldn't be this far in life, cheat codes, etc. And he made a very interesting point on execs.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Very, very good point in the sense of to be that vulnerable and be that open and letting people know that, cool, it might look pretty from the outside, but execs will use you. Doesn't matter who you are, you can be trap star. As long as you're bringing in revenue for them, they look at you as a product.
Yeah, because he talks about them being a murderer and then they still signing. And it's a really good argument kind of going in terms of like, because we had the recent death of the, he's not a murderer though, but he died, his mental health was to bits as well. One Direction, brother.
Oh, yes.
And again, it's a conversation, especially like me and Henry. I think you've been part of this conversation as well in terms of like how much should the music industry, I mean, of course, in terms of play a part in terms of helping people's mental health, or maybe not signing artists that are convicted, or maybe dropping them, or I mean, it's really interesting because we have so many high-profile artists that are, you know, like Young Thug that are going through trials as well. But of course, you can't drop someone unless they are actually have committed this crime. So it's a long topic, a long conversation, and I'm glad that he brought that up as well. You know, even though we are getting more of the same in some way, shape, or form.
Let's jump on to the next track, Up North. So this is track
number
7.
God, man, we already know what it's about.
that we got came from up north. But if it beat, then you'll go down south. Even though it's not allowed, no. The way it'll come, I just give him my card and tap it. I don't even know what I'm paying. Oh, what a wonderful life I'm living. But something just don't feel right. The gun pipping, I gotta be up in a couple of hours. Big tactical knife I'm gripping, just in case they try their luck. Of course I'm walking with God, but bro, in this world, no, that ain't enough. Bro, they don't get what they want, so they switch up. So all along, they been trying to finesse, man. Somebody get them a 10 packs, grown man, acting like teenage gal. My sweet 16. Gonna ruin your B-day plan. All of us raised by single women. Remember the days I was freezing cold, I was writing my name on that frosted window. Started the year when F. died 26th for Jan, I lost my kinfolk. Cam told me that he died and I regal. I don't have time for the £1 million meeting in town, go let alone you. I'm living my movie, I won't make the sequel, I can't decline like Home Alone 2. Too competitive, don't wanna
girls all throughout the country, bro. I know what everybody's like. But up here, up north, we ain't playing, bro. You get snatched, get your face. Bro, we even you, bro, we ain't playing. You know what I'm saying? Support the trenches, man. Free the guys all day.
Okay.
Slightly different than what we said.
What's your thoughts on that one, bro?
Well, slightly different from what we said in terms of selling drugs up north, but it's still about the violence. It's still about the violence involved as well. And obviously he's eating carbonara and steak. He always talking about eating and living good, and then the hardship mixed in. Again, similar like the last 5 or 6 record, but I think slightly a little bit different in that he's talk. Well, it was a slightly little bit different line, isn't it, as well, where he talks about his mental health and then one of his close friends dying, which of course is terrible. And then about I think it was called gang war and stuff like that as well. And I think is this one we also talk about like walking around with a knife in it because he said it's an interesting line where he basically is saying that yes, I walk with God, but in this world walking with God is not enough, which is an interesting line as well. So a few good interesting lines there then as well. But again, mixed in with the same repetitive cycle.
I feel like he's throwing certain vulnerable moments here and there. There's not loads, but there's little bits where he's giving us, like you mentioned, mental health. He's giving a state of his physical Christian journey. Well, I don't know if he's a Christian, but his religious journey with God.
I think from listening to the album, I think his vulnerability is always talking about the material conditions, isn't it? In terms of what in terms of, you know, the way he grew up, and also what he witnessed, I don't know, selling drugs and stuff like that as well. But yeah, now we've got the occasional, I don't know, blurted line about his mental health, mental state as well. But I feel like one way could have helped this album is like you have certain records or a record that you talk about just the bad side of it and you're just trying to stick on that specifically. And then you have a record where you talk about, I don't know, the high life. And then maybe you have a record that mix those two things together. Because what we're having right now is that we're having basically the middle pact, isn't it? But yes, sometimes it angles onto one side or the other side. Do you get me?
Yeah. So it's not constructed in a way.
Yeah. I feel like if you structure it that way, you're able to stick to one. And also you add in more wordplay. And you also trying to look at their situation or trying to draw something more from the situation. What is some different angles? Do you get me through this? What is a unique angle talking about this struggle? Like, how can I uniquely talk about my own struggle that it's not similar to the other person? Do you get me? And I think, yes, you always want to be, you know, we want to be similar because that's how us as as an audience are able to identify you. But we also want you to be unique. So we don't feel like, you know, we can just discard you. Do you get me? We want to say, this is what makes you different. That's your MO. Do you get me?
Exactly. So it's limited in that sense where Jules always been brought and spoken on the likes of the violence and the heartache and being broken, the materialistic side of things. But vulnerability, like you just mentioned, there is so key, man. I feel like it will take the genre into a whole different space.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, so, but like you said, he's still young, and like we're only on track 8 at the moment, so he could surprise us once again, but I highly doubt it at the moment. But we might as well jump into track 8 anyway. So this is CRG with Mr. Dave, and you know we both like Dave.
Yeah, I like David. Dave is really good. Dave is good.
Very doped up artist. So I'm expecting big things on this track, you know. So let's jump on it anyway. So CRG featuring Dave, track number 8.
great, that's gotta take time. Moved out and
Square feet off of this pain. Look at me, I got heartacres. He was tough, got no neighbours. My uncles had no papers. We saw sweets and schoolmates says that the men them grew up.
that's great, that's great, that's great.
There's that little Brazilian vibe thing, fam.
Yeah, that's Dave, man. That's Dave. That's Dave. That's Dave. You see the influence certain artists have sometimes when you feature on a track together. I think Dave already, he woke me up with just deliverance. His wordplay, Dave Forever, is crazy, man. Some of the stuff he speaks and some of the stuff he states, and you're thinking, Dave, man, like, behave. Then he sees where he wants $1 million, but talking like Paco Rabanne, 1 million.
Yeah.
You're thinking, you're hearing it, and you're imagining, thinking, all right, cool. It's beautiful to hear an artist within the same type of genre really play with the word, but still give you a story. You understand what I'm trying to say? And I know that Central Cee gives us a story, but it's very, very, very coded in a sense of Central Cee. It's branded. We know what he's going to give us. He's going to talk about being broke. He's going to talk about... Like, I feel like I keep repeating myself every single track when it comes to Central Cee. But as I digress, I'll say it's a good track.
But very different from the other records as well. And I feel like Central Cee is pushing himself there with the flow as well. Like, you know, where that's a nice little change of rhythm and pattern. And it also flows quite nicely with the beat as well. Although we do get quite similarity in terms of sort of the theme as well. But nonetheless, I like this a little bit more because, again, now he's introducing something completely different into the mix in terms of the flow rather than the same pattern and delivery that we had previously.
Track number 9, which is called Limitless. So yeah, let's see what that track is saying. Number 9, Limitless.
Make him out, are you gonna stay?
How do I put this pain into words? Like I pull it from my gun, it burns. Slept on a sofa and I woke up with spots on my face from germs. So I gotta put paper first. If I don't pay the bills, then who will? Remember I felt like that man got trained. 2 days got 2 blows. And white keys linked up with Colombia. Still just us on a 2-man mission. Come estás, muy bien, what's good? How you been? I say I'm alright, but I'm stressed with end. Deep breath won't help with the mess I'm in. Alright. Single parent household living on benefits, council housing, tenant restraining orders, cemetery visits, hard drug habits, our life weren't pleasant. I'm not riding, I'm the one deciding. Got my brothers for life through right or wrong, I'm standing strong beside them. When you're the one providing in a yes man environment, everyone biased. More money, less violence, time is free but somehow priceless. So watch how you spend it wisely.
Alright, fam. I can't lie. I think I remember listening to this single and I think this is like the best single on the album. I think like remove some of the other ones. Because don't get me wrong, this is also very similar as well. But I'm loving, some of the lines are really good. And I think one of my favorite lines I've heard, you know, when you're the one providing a yes man environment, everyone's biased. What?
Crazy. Very much so.
That is a fantastic. That's an amazing. You know what it is? Central. That is an amazing line. My long time of listening to rap, this is like one of the best self-aware bars I've heard. So shout out to Central Cee, and I love about talking about, most of this is about mental health, from what I'm getting as well. Of course, we're getting about, you know, growing up from, you know, the you know, from the trap or from the bottom, but more importantly, you know, being the man and being the provider as well.
What? He's giving us something where I've got more hope for the rest of the album. Might as well jump onto the next track. This is track number 10. Track number 10 called Now We're Strangers. So let's see what that track is saying.
This is a love rhythm, bro.
My secrets in the dark, gotta bring it to the light. Hold it down till the end, I pay a substantial price. Said if it ain't you, then I don't want nobody else. I had you and I ended up with many other girls. I'm feeling sad and I'm really numb inside. You came and then you left, it feel like conquer and divide.
Once again, showing a bit of vulnerability. I think this is what I'm asking for, man. We already knew what the song was going to be. Now We're Strangers. We know this is going to be a love song, you know, baby please type of vibe. You know what I'm trying to say? I know via the past, couple of years, there's been rumours of him dating said person. And I can understand, because more so when you're an artist and you're out in the public eye, putting your business out there is not easy, man. and you want to restrain it from the evil eye. You want to restrain people seeing and being in your business, because at the end of the day, you are an artist. You don't want people understanding, knowing, or being in your business.
It's a two-edged sword, isn't it, as well? Because you get, it's kind of a bit like, you know, with Safari and Nicki Minaj, how like everyone thought Nicki Minaj was like single, but she was dating Safari for like 10 years.
Because you have to create an image.
Yeah, that you're attainable, isn't it?
Yeah, of course.
I think, yeah, and to add on to that, I really like the change of tone. It was really instantaneous how he changed his tone from being very more high pitched before to now lower tone again, being more vulnerable in his voicing as well. But not a bad record at all as well. I don't think nothing too amazing or special, but I give credit in the voice change. I really like the voice change. I thought that was very interesting.
Yeah, we're jumping on track number 11. So this track's called Truth in the Lies. This is featuring Lil Durk. So yeah, man, let's take a listen and see what it's saying.
Oh my god.
She said, don't give up. I agree, well, travel around the world and you're the only one that's on my mind. Made me wanna come back home right now, come here. Feel like I'll catch a real with you, cause I thought you wouldn't mind. Baby, if I need I would save you the struggle. I'm sick and tired of love songs, I flood out with diamonds. Conditioner with hoods on, I'm like the shopping private. You take care of assignments. Hold me back, baby, hold me back, baby. I'm a savage, I'm a rag, baby. You like I got some figure about it overnight.
Yeah, I was gonna say one word only, fam. Jeez, bro. If I was in the studio, I have to be a yes man in that moment, fam. I have to gas up the things, bro.
Yes, man, good lord. That's a. As soon as we heard the instruments, we both started laughing, bro. Yeah, come on, man. Come on. Come on. It's another filler track. It's a track they've created, and to be honest with you, even Lil Durk, I don't rate Lil Durk.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Lil Durk like that much. Well.
But the track alone for you to sit in the studio and then agree that it's a great track for them to jump on the album as well. Yeah, man, it's peculiar for me. I don't understand the direction of the track. The samples are stupid. It's
Man said "So Sick" by Neo, fam. Let me spin that rhythm.
Yeah, nah. That's
It's I can't lie. It is very much a poor record. I think, you know, we've been having a conversation who's better, Neo or Chris Brown, fam. You know, big conversation in the group chat, fam, and it's been going on for weeks now. And I'm a massive fan of Neo. I think "So Sick" is one of his strongest single, but I think that flip was a poor flip. I also think that it sounded like a flip that you would make and put on a mixtape when you were just starting out. Do you get me? It doesn't sound like what two professional rappers at that particular height and that particular moment should be hopping on. Mm-hmm. But again, I know why they did it. I think this feels very much like we think this is going to bang, so let's make something out of this. Do you get me? And I think they probably were thinking about shooting a video to it as well, which I'm not sure is going to happen now because of the Lil Durk situation. But even though, I just think the way the sample is flipped is poor. The lines are not, I mean, the lines are whatever, innit? It's just, it's almost like a heartbreak song, but it's not quite a heartbreak song in some way as well. But it's because it's always talking about not having your love and feeling suicidal and stuff like that as well. And I think the previous record that was more of a heartbreak song did much better than this song as well. And I did like Lil Durk's second verse though, when he's changed it up the flow a little bit there, because he went off of the rhythm of the instrumental. And I think had he kept that on all of these verses, that would have been better as well. But the chorus as well, even the way it's delivered, is a bit naff as well. Overall, I think this is like easily the poorest song on the album for me.
Fun facts for you. The producer, his name's Harley Arsenault. He's signed to Drake's OVO Sound record label.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So, to be fair with you, he's been amongst some great Drake songs.
Oh, he's produced some great rhythms. Some of Drake's rhythms, okay.
So, yeah. Disappointing, man. Disappointing. I've not got much to say regarding the track. I feel like it's a poor track. It's a useless track. There's no point in it being an album. So 17 tracks so far on this album. There's at least 4 or 5 I could have removed so far. So it says a lot, man. And we're not even done yet. But we might as well move on to the next track, because that was super disappointing. Might as well move on to track number 12, which is called 10, featuring Skepta. So I'm looking forward to that track. Skepta, I'm a big fan of Skepta. Big, massive fan. So yeah, let's have a quick look and see what it's saying. So this is track number 12, entitled 10, featuring Skepta.
Done it again, 10:30, just maybe at 10, they ain't got out of bed. If I ran out of one cool mate, bro, sleep with my eye. With the ones putting on West, not them, they got more money than sense. Sleep on giving me stress, I ain't giving us, I'm handling biz. Now I got success, what about when I slept on a small bunk bed? Now it's king size mattresses, I'm a king, I might send out an offer there. I'm a bad man, but good girls that ain't gonna accept if I offer them bread. Turn girls down and I wanna home, put it in flesh. Pulled up to the club around 10:30. How many vibes I pull up with? How many of the guys I pull up with? I need no new friends, all I need is a wifey to keep me warm. Pretty face girl with beautiful lips, she kinda looked like she was grown by spawn. You don't need flowers, but you know that you need your 10,000 hours. Done it again, 10:30, just maybe at 10, they ain't got out of bed. Every I'm in the UK top 3, talk about worldwide, then we in the top 10.
Skepta does what Skepta does. I feel like it was a strong performance. Strong lyrics. His energy in the track gave us something a bit different, for sure. And I love the way they was going bar for bar to a certain extent. It seemed like they was going against each other, but yet still working together on the track as well. So the cohesion was nice. Similar type of story when it comes to Sench and his lyrics and storytelling capacity, capabilities, should I say. But in all, a track that can, it touched the album well. Nothing amazing. I expected bigger. I expected a similar track to the Dave record that we listened to. That's what I was expecting. But it does what it says on the tin. I don't think it was anything special, to be fair, bro.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I like Skepta's beat. I think the bars were not too bad, but I think what made Skepta's one stand out a little bit more is the flow, isn't it? The flow is just different, isn't it? And that adds a little bit of pizzazz in it. But yeah, I echo and agree with what you're saying. It's one of those records that's trying to be a big record, isn't it? Rather than being a great record on its own. I think a lot of artists fall into that trap, isn't it? And I'm not sure. I'm not in either of these artists' head. Maybe they did come out with the best intention, like, okay, this is the best song that I think me and you have made thus far. But I feel like they were thinking about, let's try to make the biggest song together, rather than almost like letting the song, almost serving for the song. Do you get me? So it's like, what actually sounds amazing? What actually sounds brilliant? Like, what can we add and to make, that can make this record to be something unique on its own? Do you get me? Have they ever collaborated with each other?
Not that I know of. I think this is might be the first collaboration, so I think it makes sense for them to try and make a hit single, of course. But it could probably run in the clubs.
It will, isn't it? But and there will people that will like it, and I wouldn't be surprised if it performed really well, or at least in anticipation, because it's them too. But yeah, I don't think it. I agree with everything you're saying.
But might as well move on to track number 13, Band for Band. Obviously,
your favorite song, bro.
One of your favorite.
This is your favorite. By the way, viewers, man, I hate this record to the bone. I think when I heard this at first as a single, I thought this is egregious. I thought this is just ridiculous. But we go through it. Let's hear Band for Band.
Let's hear it anyway. So this is number 13, Band for Band, featuring Little Baby. Let's go. Yeah.
A pilot of ETA, Lambo pop to the landing strip. Everyone in my gang and my DJ pay. Wise man wearing a Jesus piece. How did she squeezing them jeans? Big behind a Betita's face. Do you want, bro? Pick one. If I shoot my shot, I'll hit one. Matter of time till I get them all ticked off. Alright. We could go band for band.
Yeah, we thing on M for M.
Got to the point that I don't even care. I got jewels in the safe that I don't even wear.
Jeez, the song is so frustrating, man.
We can definitely go band for band, fam. Alright, bro, you can go first, man, because
You know what? When it comes to band for band,
when it comes to
it's a song. When it first came out, when the single came out, when released last year, what did I think of it? It's a song that I knew that the fan base will love. They will, you know, it's one of them rhythms that will run through the clubs. I call it TikTok rhythms, you know what I'm trying to say? Them rhythms that will just run through in every type of reel. Yeah, band for band. Yeah, band for band. It just gets you going, gets you speaking. The video, I think the video was shot in London, if I was correct.
Yeah. I think, yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, so it done what it done, to be honest with you, man. But I just wasn't a massive fan of it at all, man. I wasn't a massive fan whatsoever. But on that record itself, I think Central Cee had a better verse. Little Baby, I just don't know what he was doing, man. That verse really annoyed me, man. Really annoyed me.
you know what is one thing I dislike so much about this record is Lil Baby's voice and how nasally it is, and also like how childish it just comes across. Like we can go band for band, fucking that we can go in for in. I feel like the back and forth is just so naff on this record, and I just think it's just. Again, there's nothing interesting about it as well, either from production or from the theme or its lyrics. More importantly, the way it's executed. It's just naff, do you get me? It's almost like this is the song I predicted that they would do if them two came together and made a record. Do you get me?
Yeah. Platinum in America, it's gone gold in UK, and I think in Europe, I know it went double platinum in Canada.
Yeah, let's see. I can bring it up.
It went double platinum in Canada, I know that for sure. It went platinum in the States, it went gold in the UK, and in Europe. Obviously, he's got a good stance in Europe, so I know that it went gold throughout certain countries in Europe as well. So
the charts. I mean, that's an amazing performance. That is like, you know, is when you release a single and you have this type of what's it called performance. That's amazing. But I still think nonetheless it's a poor song. And I always say that, you know, the where it performs and where it lands on the chart, it's not an indicator whether it's a good or bad song. It's just an indicator of how popular the song is. Do you get me?
We might as well jump on to the next track. Track number 14, entitled Gen Z Love. We know where this is going in. Another love song. So let's see what it's saying anyway. So number 14, Gen Z Love.
Your story, you ain't responded, I wanna unsend it. Got me stalking your Facebook page, I'm preying on friends. It's so that you follow the fellow acquaintance. You ain't even mind you, I'm feeling envious. Black shit, get mad and you call me got me addicted. Feel like a passenger seat just giving me side eye. It's giving me character syndrome. You ain't gotta connect to the Wi-Fi. Let's just talk and put down the iPhone. Mom said I ain't gonna last. I'm telling her we gon' see. You see our relationship is childish. You're my baby, so I agree.
Cool. What's your thoughts on that track, my bro?
It's okay. I think one thing that I hate what he does is that he goes for my crisis ain't from cost of livings. I think about death, like God forbid it. American Express got no limit. Is that he's done that on many records where he switches from one extreme to another, and I found it to be quite jarring. It's almost like, you know what it is? You know, it's like having a conversation and we're talking about one topic, but then you switch from one thing and there's not a connection to another thing, and he does that quite a lot. I wish that he could be more consistent in terms of his theme and not switch so much, because imagine talking about suicide, which is a serious thing, and then saying that your American Express got no limit. What the heck does that got to do with being suicidal? Do you get me? Anyway, that's just more grab, because he's done that quite a lot, and I noticed it again on this song. But I know it's not bad. You know what it is? And also what I realized as well, I would love if he added a bit of gram to this as well, because that was very much like a gram rhythm with a gram flow. So it'd be nice if he can add a little bit, you know, not just drill, but add gram into the album. Do you get me? Further, you know, introduce further again. introduces something different to the American audience. Do you get me? And I think we're getting a little bit different there with the flow, but I think that would have been interesting. And I think he's doing a little bit with the flow and a little bit with the tempo, but I'm not sure if they would understand that. But nonetheless, I feel like he can be a bit more braver. But anyway, what do you think, record?
Yes, I think that's the key word, brave. I think like he tried to give us a bit of a different stance to what he's been doing so far in the album, man. I think he gave us something different. This is what we needed. It's a little bit too late down the album, to be fair. We're 14 tracks in and you're now trying to experiment. You know what I mean? By that point, I would have skip, and you're giving... It's a frustrating album. It's a frustrating album, but the track in itself so far, it's alright. It'll surpass. It's nice. Grime elements would be good, because I see how he's trying to play with his flow a little bit here and there towards the end as well, trying to skip on the beat. And in general, yeah, cool. Once again, man, I expect more. I'm not gonna lie to you, man.
Man, I want the best, fam. I want filet mignon, fam. That's get me nothing
yeah,
else.
man. When I'm listening to an album and you've had us waiting for a good while, and the album is entitled "Can't Rush Greatness." Yeah.
No, that is true.
I'm not gonna say no more, but yeah, let's jump into track number 15. So that's called "Walk-In Wardrobe." Kind of know where this is going again, man. Listen to this title, I kind of know where this is going again, but yeah, let's jump into it. So, "Walk-In Wardrobe," track number 15.
Before I had a walk-in wardrobe, no car, I was 10 toes. Walking through the war zone. She don't like taking a no, the place with the hormones. Love, I need more. I just swallow my pride and ask my guy for help. That hurt, cause I don't like asking. I don't know how to make up someone just rhyme on beat and say how I feel. Freedom risking, the feds keep on frisking. Before you get tied to back of your K1's gonna reach for his. So let's be realistic. I told her play, but they don't even care, but they're gonna underestimate when you ain't got a million views on a video.
Bro, chat. See it, type in.
I had computers, what you gonna do if my dog come round? I might make the young G come to your show with it like Moses, part the crowd. I got caught lacking, my guard was down. Leg, carrot, 10 cup convoy, deep on a Euro tunnel, I'm taking a trip to. I don't care if they call my album a classic.
Cool. Out of track number 15, "Walk-In Wardrobe." Kev, talk to me. What was your feeling?
I throw this in the bin, man. I hate it. I hate it so much. Again, he's just swishing. You know what it is? This feels like, you know, when a striker is not on form and he's just taking shots anywhere, fam. This is what this song feels like. Do you get me? Like, he's trying to force it. Again, another record, throw it. He's switching from topic to topic. And the beat again is almost like a backdrop for him to sort of to spit, but the beat is nothing interesting or amazing. And again, a lyric, because he's switching from topic to topic. He's not necessarily singling out on a specific theme as well. So he's not drawing things that are interesting, that keep me active, you know, captivated as a listener, fam. Do you get as well? And it's also repetitive to add on to that as well. Do you get me? And then you get Kai Cenat, hold on, chat. C's tapped in. Again, he's only getting Kai Cenat because Kai Cenat's got a name. And again, you know, just to validate, you know, that, you know, he's doing a thing with a bigger, with the American audience, which again, we congratulate for him. Amazing achievement. But overall, very boring. I honestly throw it. It's a poor song. What do you think?
Man, Kev, I think I tapped out of this album a little while back. I tapped out of the album a little while. 17 tracks. It's too many tracks. Too many tracks.
And we've heard longer albums as well.
40 "Walk-In Wardrobe," brother. The first initial instrumental made me feel like, who are you working with when it comes to the producers? We've got some great UK producers out here, man. Some brilliant producers that could really hone in and kind of enable them to kind of connect with Central Cee's type of sound. I keep going back to the title of the album, "Can't Rush Greatness," but I'm not saying that this album has been rushed, but I just feel like it's an album that gives me mixtape vibes. It gives me mixtape vibes. It's not an album for me. And he mentioned something in his lyric where he stated that he doesn't care if this album has been deemed as a classic or not. Like,
Yeah, that's a good bar, because that did stand out to me as well. Yeah.
Yeah, but he can retire for his singles, which is true, and he can. So I don't know if he's putting any expectations on himself on the album.
Yeah.
But the album's still gonna do well regardless because his marketing, you know, him and YB's Zella, the marketing is absolutely amazing. There's 2 more tracks left, and I don't know if I can be asked. I'm tapped out. It's very repetitive. It's cool. We know what you're about, and you're a good rapper, but you're not broadening your horizon. You're not stepping out your comfort zone. I don't get the theme to this album.
Yeah.
Everything on this album is what he speaks on every single day on his singles anyways. But we might as well then go into Must Be, which is track number 16. So yeah, let's have a quick little listen now, okay? For see what he's saying.
What's your definition of real? Or what do you look? You look for your friends. If you for your friends, yeah. That's real to you. Yeah.
What's your definition of real? What is it? If she don't know, then she must be. If that's what you call real, man's fake as it gets. Say like shit, damn what place in my bet. I'm taking a risk like game. They ask for a matter and I gave it a dress.
Oh, that is so childish, bro.
What's your definition of real? What is it? If it's something like them, then I must be fake. And they don't want, so it must be fake.
I can't lie. That line where man said, if she don't wanna, then she must be, fam. That's a childish bar, man. It's such a ridiculous childish bar, man. What do you think, bro? What do you think, fam?
You know what this is? Mixtape music, bro. Mixtape music, man. Like bro, man. I'm tired. I'm tired because he's a good rapper. But I feel like there's certain artists, and I feel like because we love music, you can understand artists when it comes to creating a body of work. Some are very single orientated or EP or mixtape orientated. Creating an album is not easy.
Yeah, for
you need to create an album from start to finish, 17 tracks as well. Kevin, at some point in that album, you need to capture us. We need to be I need to be captured to the point where I'm understanding the vision that you've created on this album. At this moment in time, I don't. I'm on track 16. Well, track 16, I don't understand the vision. I know what you talk about because you speak about the same type of things on the tracks. But the album itself, if someone said to me, oh, what's the album about?
Money,
Lies,
bitches, lies, deception.
You know, rapping.
From the bottom to the top, fam. Do you get me, fam? Towards the end, I think there was a outro about Shepherd's Bush Market as well. So he does give us a little bit of UK in droves as well. Do you get me too?
So Kev, quick one. I've got a question for you actually. So Central Cee obviously bridging the gap between the UK and the US.
Yeah.
This album that we've listened to so far, we're on the last track. How would you feel? What do you think the Americans think when they listen to this album? What's their anticipation or what's their viewpoint?
I think for American listeners listening to this, I feel like there's a lot of synergy in terms of the violence, the struggles from growing poor to growing rich, and obviously they will get some differenceness in terms of the accent, for example, and the little moments where he talks about hopping on the train or the Shepherd's Bush Market outro or specific UK stuff as well. And obviously the drill will be very different as well. And some of them maybe grammar element, but I'm not sure how many will pick up on that. And, you know, the collabs with Skepta and stuff like that. So I think it might, for an average American listeners, I think it will be different enough. For an experienced listener, it will be, oh, this is a UK brother. Oh, he's very similar. But he just talks about the same thing. Do you get me? Like, he's not that different. And I think that will be. But as we are seeing in terms of the way singles are performing, I think this album will do what the team wanted to do.
Cool. We might as well then single off this album by listening to the last track. Track number 17. It's been a long 17 tracks, I can't lie to you, bro. Jeez. So this track is entitled Don't Know Anymore. So yeah, let's have a listen and see what it's saying.
Indeed.
ain't gonna relate. What's this, what's that? I don't care to explain. I'll deal with the grief, I'm bearing the pain. I don't paint these girls in a positive way. You can tell that my heart's been broken before. Trying to heal, but it's taking time. What's the point in life? I don't know anymore. Tell the young boys stay in school, but I wouldn't buy it. All of the man, them jumped in that we put on the wire and got inspired. Not surprised when I see man lying, it's fine. I already clocked their liars. I just saw a cat that I know what's driving. I might park up on a block, say hi. Mum's house banging flights to all of these shows. I'm booty to all of these countries. Say thank you and pretending you're grateful, but when I turn man's back, say whole 6 months living at your mum's was with big bro and our only was us three. Should dwell on the past, but I sometimes wonder could have I got this far without losing my dog.
The closing song, innit? It's a weird outro, really. It feels like a middle of the album song. Dwells deeper into a personal story, innit? Rather than sort of capping this all off. It's not like the last call on the Kanye's College Dropout, or like an album closing track. Do you get me?
Once again, I think I'm very annoyed with how they've structured this album.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, I feel like it's all over the place, number one. Number two, there's a lot of singles and tracks that should not be on the album. And number three, I feel like he probably needed some sort of creative direction. Somebody was missing whilst they were creating this album.
Executive producer to actually sequence the album properly. Like the Skepta song served the same purpose as the Lil Baby song. The Lil Durk song saved the same purpose. The different theme, but for I'm definitely certain that the Skepta and the Lil Baby record were supposed to be the big records, the big club records.
As in the body of work, the artistry within the album, it just isn't there, man. It isn't there. It isn't there. This isn't it. And anyone that says that this is a classic, yes, man. You're liars. Yes, man. Yes, man. This is not a classic album at all. It's not even close. Not even close. Disappointed, man. Disappointed, bro.
I think my final remarks is the same as you. I agree with everything that you're saying. I think this is not even a classic album. I don't think it's even a good rap album or even a good hip hop album. I don't think it's a good album in general. I think he's done probably better work before. The collabo tape that he did with Dave was good. That was actually a good piece of work. I think this one was quite poor. But I think the reason why this was made is to serve a different purpose, and that was to sell in America. And I think he's going to achieve that. And for that, they get an A-star for that. And that because that's also an achievement that many UK rappers, like I'm going to repeat myself again, have not done. And the fact that he's able to do that, and he took, I think, the less risky route. I think this album is very safe in terms of its single, in terms of the features. I think all of it is designed to do one thing, and I think he's about to achieve it. However, going forward, I want something better, because I generally feel like this is the type of album, kind of a bit like Ardy, innit? Where you release an album like this, and honestly, I feel like you got 2 and 3 before you are irrelevant. I've seen the kind of running theme. You can see with like Benny Siegel, Freeway, who are they? Like, rappers would have the first 2-3 albums sell really well, and then it just dips. I don't see this as being good enough or interesting enough where Central Cee can have a 10+ or 20+ career in terms of selling. I think in terms of still having a career, yes, but in terms of selling, no. And I think he would need to definitely step up and start to deliver more greater body of work, where I think the American audience and also us UK audience, but more importantly the audience as a whole, can now look at him as one of the forebearers of this art form. I think at this present moment in time, he's a participant who's doing very well, but he needs to aim to be a participant that's a leader of the pack, not just in terms of sale, but in terms of quality and body of work. And when everyone looks at him as a rapper from the UK, they put him up there.
Anyway, we might as well conclude this video right here. That's Central Cee's Can't Rush Greatness review right here.
It's definitely rushed.
Definitely rushed for sure. Let us know what you think. We've definitely let you know what we think of the album, but make sure you subscribe. Road to 10K. Road to 10K.
Yes.
9K is around the corner, and 10K can only be a short step ahead. So please, please, please comment, subscribe, like, and we'll see you on the other side. Catch you later.
Peace.